What's up, guys? Your Silicon Valley Sage sister coming at you from another car ride talk, because I do a lot of thinking on my drive. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ann Blackwood, and I bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler. So today I want to talk about the foundations of spirituality, and even some of what I call the prerequisites to spirituality. And before you think you know, I started studying spirituality, like all sorts of different forms of spirituality, when I was 9. And it took me until I was 27 to be able to recognize that we as humans want to think, because of the ego, that we are farther along than we are. And I talk about the Holy Trinity of health, because the mind, body, spirit, I like to call it the holistic, but I want to put a W on that so badly because it's W-H-O-L-E, holistic health, because you have to have the mind, body, and spirit all healthy and healed in order for happiness to really fill your life. And when you have the Holy Trinity of health covered, mind, body, spirit, happiness comes naturally. So at this point, I don't necessarily work within any particular tradition or denomination, because I've come to learn throughout my studies that they all speak of the universal truths. So where I do use specific denominations, traditions, and teachings to relate things, I'm not set in one particular tradition or faith, because that really is the exoteric teachings, the prerequisite to really being on a spiritual path. And from there, you learn the truths that they all have to offer, and you start learning the universal laws. And what I've come to realize that people don't seem to understand, that I've been talking about lately a lot with people, is that you have to start from the bottom up. And you're not getting rid of the bottom. You're not getting rid of the 3D to be 5D. You're actually mastering it so they all work together in harmony. So, like I said, this was something that I had to wrap my mind around. And so it wasn't until I was 27 and I started this journey when I was 9 that I realized that my foundation wasn't complete, because all of those exoteric teachings, all of those prerequisites for spirituality, all of that, what people consider spirituality 101 or religion 101, which is this prerequisite for spirituality, is this idea that you're transcending means that you're getting rid of the rest, but you're not. You're not. Like any practice, like anything, the foundation allows you to, rather than just get lucky because you don't know what you're doing, but you kind of manage to make it work sometimes because you have the information intellectually understood, but you don't emotionally and in an inspired action way know how to put it into practice. So you're getting lucky, but you don't actually have the solid foundation. You don't actually understand how it works. This is why I say I teach the method behind the magic, because I help people understand, like I use the root chakra, for instance. You have to heal the root chakra before you can move on to healing the rest. And all of the chakras have a mental, spiritual, and physical aspect to them. You have to master the 3D. This is the conversation I've been having with people the most. You have to master the 3D you have to master vibrating at the 3rd density before you can learn to vibrate at any other density. Otherwise, you might get little sparks of it from time to time on accident, but you don't know how to recreate it in a way in which it will always work for you. So this is the foundations of my teaching, is healing the root chakra. This is what I start everybody off with, is healing the root chakra and learning to, as a foundation, master the 3D Because as we get deeper into spirituality, we recognize the fact that we've just begun. We've just begun. And that's that wisdom with age in recognizing and being willing to let the ego aside so that we can learn more. We always have more to learn. And so this starts with healing the root chakra and really, really learning how to master, because mastering vibrating in a happy and healthy way in the 3D is no easy feat. People think it's easy, but that's what most people are mastering in this lifetime, and they don't even realize it. And it takes a humble person, and this is why I don't dress things up with fancy glitter to try to attract people, because I know I'm meant to attract people who are already hooked, who are already on a spiritual path. Because, you know, you can learn to do it more and more quickly, but you have to have that foundation first. And if you don't have that foundation, and I had to learn this the hard way, so I'm trying to help people not have to learn things the hard way like I did. Without that proper foundation, you're only going to be constantly learning how to master the 3D. And you will never actually get to the 4 and the 5D, because you'll still be mastering the 3D. So I help people master that 3D so that they can move forward to better in their lives, not just on their spiritual journeys, but actually live a happier and healthier life, because that's what that creates. That's what that automatically creates, is an ease in life and a happiness that's unshakable. So that no matter what life throws your way, you know that you are in faith, in trust, where you are meant to be, learning what you're meant to be learning. And that you know that you will come out the other side, not just unharmed, but better for it. All right, guys, I'm about to be where I'm supposed to be. I have workshops coming up this week. I have upgraded the sanctuary, which I just talked about, where the sanctuary is no longer its own Patreon. It's now a part of my other Patreon as its own tier. So as a sanctuary member, you don't just get the sanctuary content, you as well get all of the content available to the Awakening and Toe in the Water packages as well. And what else? My Fridays are just about filled up for one-on-one coaching, but I've had some people reaching out to me recently about spots. So I am still taking in spots for one-on-one counseling. So just drop me a message, or there's a link in my LinkTree to sign up for a free mini session / clarity call to get started on the coaching. Those links will be provided wherever this video is posted. May the energy you serve you well. As I always say, let's keep making our way through. It's one of my favorite Robin Williams quotes from one of my favorite Robin Williams stand-ups. We're all just making our way through. And we are. And as I have come to start ending these videos, be brave, stay sane, and be kind to each other. Be kinder to each other. Because right now, we could all use a little less of this learned, accepted judgment. Right now, judgment has become really trendy. And when you actually accept something, there is no judgment. There's no room for judgment because you accept it. When you tolerate something, there's room for judgment. But when you truly accept something, there is no judgment. And the way to achieve this is by taking the time to be curious. Taking the time to attempt to be understanding through curiosity. So as you go throughout your day, rather than judging people, and I even still catch myself making assumptions from time to time, and even assumptions are on some level judgment. Take that moment to recognize that you are judging, that you are making an assumption, and instead be curious. Be willing to ask questions. Assume that you don't know everything. Assume that they might know something you don't, which isn't to say that they know more than you, but just that they know something you don't. And even if they don't, you will always come out the other side better for it when you are willing to be curious and ask questions, or just be curious and hold space for, and hold an open door for a moment of understanding, a moment of attempting to put yourself in their shoes, and if not in their shoes, at the very least, learning a little bit more about their story. Be curious, not judgmental. Be brave, stay sane, and be kind to each other with love and curiosity. All right, guys. See ya. See you in the next video. See ya, my soul clients, in our next client call, in our next session. May the energy you serve you well.